Hello, welcome back to another pen talk. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for following me on my journey, which seems to have no end. I'm very excited to show you this pen. I gave you a little preview with my mail delivery in my last video, but this pen has exceeded my expectations. Really classy packaging, which I also think is on the C1 pen, the clear one, which looks pretty interesting, which is coming my way. Hopefully in a couple weeks we'll see that. I think this is great packaging. Functional, sturdy, practical. This little rubber elastic you pull out and you see the pen. And it's nice they paid attention. Here's a rubber elastic here holding the pen in place. You don't need to pull this all the way out, but it will come out all the way. Pen is held securely. And the first thing you'll notice about the pen is it's substantial. Not necessarily in weight, but it's not exceptionally light either, but it's just nice. Very classic clip design there. Nice engraved Moonman on the bottom of the cap. And I think it's kind of a nice minimalistic design. Nothing extraneous, no extra metal. And it really lets this wood grain, which is fairly intense, come through in its full glory. The other thing that's nice about this is that cap fits nice and securely. And it comes off in less than one turn, which is pretty good. And that's because of these block threads here. They're not those fine threads that you have been finding. And those of us that may have found some of the threading challenges with the M100 are not going to find them here. And yes, the pen is inked. So nice, good size section. No flare out at the end, but this pen fits extremely well in the hand as is. It does cap securely, and it feels like that should work, but you know, most people don't like to post a wooden pen because you put stress here and there's no cap band, and also you could put a mark on the finish, but this is, you know, wood threads on wood, so I don't see that happening. So we're going to do some comparisons. Take a look at this interesting nib from Moonman and put nib to paper. So here's some pens I decided to compare to the M6. Here's your standard, I'm calling it a standard now, Pen BBS 308. Here's your Moonman M100. These are all in that cigar shape, but these are more rounded here on the M6, and these are more pointy. And then just as a standard bearer, a Pelikan M800. This is definitely the wider pen of these three by a good amount, and it also feels that way in the hand. Here we are posted, and the M6 continues to dominate this selection. To arrange these a little bit nicer. The nib is nice, section is good size, and the overall length of the pen is quite big. As we zoom on the business end, we'll also notice that the section is good size, and again, the nib comes out well. It's similarly sized to the Pelikan nib, which is considered quite large, and here the M100 number 5 Schmidt nib certainly lacks the panache of the other nibs, but still, all in all, a very good design from Moonman. Well, the engineer in me needs to look inside this cap to see how it's put together. So there is a very nice cap liner in there. And what's also nice is that cap liner protects whatever metal's been used to hold the clip in place. So the clip is slid into a slit in the cap, and then a fastener is used to hold the clip in place. So if you wanted to replace the clip, you'd have to pop out the liner, which looks like it might be just pressed in place, and undo the fastener, and the clip can be removed. So great engineering design, eliminates that screw, like in some of the Chinese pens that rust because of ink, and still seals the pen off, makes it look nice, and doesn't change the aesthetics. Kudos, kudos, kudos. Here we are with the M6 Disassembled. What I'd really want to focus on is this new number 6 nib. I mean, it's a handsome, good-sized nib. People have remarked about the reverse smile there, the little mountains. I mean, it's well done. And the feed is a standard feed, standard plastic feed. But what I find interesting is this assembly here is more reminiscent of Schmidt than it is of Moonman. So here we have two nib assemblies I've removed. One has the Moonman logo on it, and as you can see, there's an extension here that the converter fits onto where the Schmidt has an insert. So this is from two Moonmen. One, it has your Schmidt in, your M100, and your N3 that has a Moonman nib. So interesting how they've mimicked partially what Schmidt does, and I think this really holds in the converter very nicely when you have that little insert there for it to fit into. But of course, then also the section could provide that same type of support. Well, you might ask how the Moonman number 6 nib might compare to some other number 6 nibs. So here we have it next to a Jowo nib. It's a Goulet version, but it's just a Jowo nib branded with Goulet's brand logo. Here we have a Knox. This is a broad, so you can definitely see the tipping material difference. And just to put things in perspective, here's that standard Pen BBS nib, which is considered a number 6, but as you can see is slightly shorter. And here's a Fuluin medium, kind of a nice gift from Bobby, and which is also slightly shorter. The shoulders on the Jowo nib is definitely big, so are the shoulders here. They're a little narrower on the Knox and Pen BBS, and the Fuluin is a little bit wider, so hopefully that allows you to put the nibs in perspective. As I go to publish this video, I check on Etsy, and much to my surprise, Bobby, Chinese Pen, is sold out of the M6 on Etsy. So I go to eBay. Thankfully, I still find the pen for sale on eBay for the same price that Bobby was selling it for on Etsy. So I know many of you might be loyal to Bobby and like to support him because he does bring exceptional pens to us at great prices. So you might want to ping him, you know, on eBay or Etsy. Just, you know, go to his site and email the seller to see if he'll have the M6 back. But at the end of the day, if you would like to get one, here's the 4 colors that they come in, and they are still available. For how long, who knows, because a lot of these wooden pens seem to come and go. They might get a stock of wood in, they come up with a design, they machine a bunch of pens, who knows how many, and when they're sold out, and they move on to something else. So I love the pen, and if something that you like, and if this video encourages you, see if you can find it. Well, we're here for the real reason why we're looking at this pen. How does it write? So I've written with this pen for a while, probably about 5 or 6 pages, and I'm happy. You know, I just have to say that how many more pens can like really impress me, and this is one of them. Totally unexpected. I mean, thought I would like it, but not love it. You know, the fact that they've really changed those threads, less than 1 turn to uncap, I mean, fits very well in the hand, feels good. There's a little step up here, but you don't notice it, you don't feel the thread, so you can hold it anywhere. And because of the number 6 nib, you know, as you get towards the bottom of the section, that's probably, for me, a good distance from the end of the nib to make it work well. It's a light pen, will give you those weights. Like I said, you can post it. It does back weighted a little bit because that cap has a little weight to it compared to the pen. But, you know, overall, I don't think anybody could go wrong with this pen if you like the looks. And this is a wood. It comes in different colors in a darker version, but from what I've read, that's primarily because they dye this wood, which is a pecan wood, which could be from Australia. Interesting discussions you find as you delve into the thing called the internet. So this nib is, I think you can tell, is very, very smooth. It's wet. You don't need any pressure to lay down a line. You put a little bit of pressure on it, you can lay down a little bit more ink, but not something I would do on a regular basis. But the fact that the nib's a little soft gives a little bounce, which I really enjoy in a nib. So I was going to think about swapping this out, but this thing writes as well as any fine nib I've ever written with, and that includes no matter how much money you spend on a pen. So kudos to Moonman. Hopefully they don't put any more Schmidt nibs in their pens, because this drops the price. The M600 is apparently back out in a little bit of a different finish, as Jason says, but I like to call it material and colors. No checkerboard anymore, but the price is less than half of what it was originally. So I ordered one, obviously, today from Bobby on Etsy. So I can't say enough about how I'm impressed with this pen. So let's give it a rating. Hold on to your horses. We're going to give it a 9.8. 3 checks, an exclamation point, and a wow factor, which I haven't used in a while. This pen just enthralls me on every level. Visually, the size, the shape, the ergonomics, the nib, the feed. Yes, it's a cartridge converter, but that's fine with me. I have no qualms about using them. Especially if you like to change out inks. They make the pen easy to clean when you want to change inks, or just put the pen away to write another day. So thank you for watching. Hope you have many great, phenomenal, interesting, thought-provoking experiences that encourage you to write and put thoughts on paper and draw. Put pictures on paper, whatever it is. Just putting ink on paper is one of those true pleasures of life from my perspective. So we've reached the end for now. So until the next video, enjoy your writing, enjoy your day, enjoy your life. It's the only one you have. Bye.